So this is actually Hurricane Harbor. As you can see, it's not going on today as August 31st, 2022, the recording of this. And you can see on the other side that is actually Six Flags, and that's the Titan, one of the largest roller coasters in the world. Right, it looks like we have a game going on. I don't know if it's Texas Rangers. I very seriously doubt it, but there's a jumbo screen showing players kind of running around on the screen. You can see the lights are on too. A couple of lights, 1, 2, and 3 sides where the lights are. And there's a few on the back side or over that way. You can see it. Pretty cool. When we get a little closer, I'll try to show you the jumbo screen. I know you want to see it. You can see the jumbo screen a little bit, or you can see it better. I'm trying to use proper English. And right on the other side of the new building that's been built is the Globe Life Field. But you can see there's some kind of game going on. I don't know if it's the Rangers. I don't think it would be. Could be a practice game. I don't know. But they have the jumbo screen on, and they do have lights on as well. So lots of lights on. So that'll be lit up tonight. We'll try to see it later whenever the sun goes down. And then the Globe Life is right here. There's a massive building being constructed right before Globe Life. And I don't know if that's what that is. I don't know if it's a hotel, convention center. I'm assuming probably a combination of a lot of things. We're approaching AT&T Stadium. There's gonna be a little more pickup in traffic. It looks like there's some kind of event going on. But that's the new building that's being constructed right there. And you just turn maybe 90 degrees and we've got the AT&T Stadium right here. Pretty big deal. It's a pretty big stadium. I hear it's awesome to, it's like very air conditioned, central air. It's almost like being in a giant mall or something. But we're gonna be approaching that really soon. I have to cut away. There is AT&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play, and where Chris Kyle had his funeral. And a lot of rock stars go there too to perform massive concerts. I think Ed Sheeran went there. Yeah, Ed Sheeran played there. What is that lady's name that sings about Romeo and Juliet? Can't think of her name, but she's a really big country star. She sang there, and probably Kelly Clarkson has. I'm not a big Kelly Clarkson fan, but big time, country music and even rock. I'm sure there's big rock bands. There's a whole long list of bands that have played there. Who knows? Who knows who? It could be a lot of people. trying to keep it a straight face. A lot of people, have played at this stadium. To the little broadcast I was given, it's Taylor Swift. That was her name. She played there too. And there's a lot of big musicians. Or she's not a big musician. She's kind of petite. But you know what I mean. She's a famous, very big celebrity. But anyway, they played there. I haven't been really up close to that. I've not been into the AT&T Stadium. There's AT&T Plaza right there. But they give free tours. They really do. I'll talk to Linda and see if she's okay with it. We might do a free tour of the AT&T Stadium. She can schedule things like that. She's the person that schedules a lot of these vlogs and stuff like that. So I'll talk to her and see what she thinks. We might go in there and do a free tour. I think it'd be a pretty good one. Look at it though, it's massive. It looks kind of like a UFO or something that's landed, a mothership or something. It's a massive stadium. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, they give free tours, so you can just go right up there and sign up. They'll give you a free tour of the inside of the stadium. That's how they get more tickets and stuff for the shows and the football games. Because they do football games there too. The sign billboards they have of a guy carrying a cowboy flag. Cowboys being one of the best NFL football teams. They're one of the best. I mean, everybody knows. But there's a star, and the guy's like like a cowboy. He's kind of carrying it through the stadium. Pretty cool, pretty exciting. People say that Globe Life looks like a barn, you know, just kind of bland looking, but as long as that air conditioner's working and it kicks in, everybody's nice and cool. They don't feel the effects of the heat and people don't die of heat strokes. Everything's perfectly fine what it looks like because they don't care as long as that air conditioning kicks in. That's the most thing they care when they go to a baseball game. They just don't want to feel the effects of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's see what we got here. This thing's gonna be dropped off at a little like sweet kind of thing. They're gonna get themselves a little bit of pizza. Yeah, it looks like it's this one right here with this little, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it looks like we got another one, a Dash Mart. Sometimes they take you to Irving. You gotta take the groceries. Dash Mart is more kind of like a grocery store if you know anything about it, but usually sometimes it'll take me all the way to the, hopefully it won't take me to Irving. I'm just like, it didn't look like it was a high price one, so we'll see. Right, here we go. Globe Life Field. Globe Life Field, where the Texas Rangers play baseball. And they do have a game going on. I do not know if it's a Texas Ranger game, but there is something going on at Choctaw, which is right next door. There's a sign that says Texas Rangers. That's a professional baseball team in the city of Arlington, that's where they play, and they represent pretty much North Texas baseball. Well, it's a Major League Baseball, MLB, but it's North Texas because then you've got the Houston team as well. But this is the Texas Ranger team. And boy, are they good. Now, you've got lights on at Choctaw. Don't know what's going on. Didn't hear anything on the news. Nothing on the radio so far. Haven't really checked it, but I guess I probably should check the radio. But their lights are on at Choctaw Stadium. Looks like there could be some rain. And we've got some kind of church group or something. I know this is probably Texas Ranger. No, these are Texas Ranger employees. Okay, I thought it looked like a church group for a minute. And then there it is right there. Choctaw Stadium, which is where they do some sports as well. So there's something going on tonight at Choctaw Stadium. I don't know what it is. Doesn't look like it's a sellout crowd, but it looks like there's something definitely going on tonight. Pretty cool. Randall Mill, and we're getting ready to go into Stadium Ballpark. So it's got a few names. Well, we're passing Stadium Ballpark on to Randall Mill is what I meant to say. Sorry for that little mix-up. Now, this is Choctaw, and then right next door is Globe Life. See how they do it? They got Choctaw right here and Globe Life right there. Globe Life Stadium, Choctaw. Globe Life, Choctaw. Globe Life, and more Globe Life, and Choctaw. So they got two of them. But one wasn't enough. That's how much they love baseball in the state of Texas. Now this is where you go if you want to get a little drink or some French fries, maybe a burger, maybe a cool soda. That's what I would do. I'd get like a little soda. Coca-Cola is something I got hooked on because of Adam the Woo. I used to be a big Dr. Pepper drinker. But I started watching Adam the Woo, and I was like, Coca-Cola does taste good. And I just got, addicted to Coca-Cola and Diet Coke. But I do drink Dr. Pepper as well. Then we've got Live Lowe's right here, which this is a place where you could stay like overnight. It's real expensive, but it's basically like a really expensive hotel. And it's called Live Lowe's, or Live by Lowe's. But there's the whole thing right there. There's parking if you want to do parking. We're going on forward. And I remember I did a lot of ride share here when Cowboy games would play, and I would make almost up to $700 a night working Uber and also working Lyft and doing what I call cleanup, which is going by making sure everybody gets home by the end of the night. And I was the designated driver. I was the guy that was completely 100% sober and vigilant and ready to take you home, and could even discipline you if you acted up in my car. And at times, people have lost their ride because they wanted to be disrespectful. And I'd have to pull over and say, it's time to get out of the car. Now, I did have some people throw up. I did handle that. I did take those people home. They don't get in trouble for throwing up. Because I had this thing right over here. When I used to have it. Somewhere in here, I'll have to ask Linda where it went. But anyway, that's basically AT&T Stadium. I don't know where she put that. I had to find it. It's a little pop-out trash can thing. I've shown it a few times. I found it. It's a little pop-up trash can. It just pops up. You just, puke right in that. Throw up in this little car bin right here. And I had this one guy fill it almost to the top. I got him home. Now, they don't get in trouble for throwing up or human things. They get in trouble for being mean. I had some college kids that wanted to mouth off to me, so I said, listen, don't call me Mr. Uber driver. Ooh, yellow cat right there. Sometimes the portal doesn't work if they don't place it in the portal. So that means that they're running slow. But they'll usually just hand it to you if you can't get through the portal. For some reason, this complex is a little tricky. You've got the building numbers right there. So I'm looking for 13. Last time I was doing a lot of circles around this place. So see, go right to sporadic to 17. So they do fall in order. They'll go 16, then 15. So there's an order. But there it is. It's going to be that one right there. I think I've delivered this one before. Looks like she got her pizza and she's good to go. No rain yet. Jack in the Box, I'm getting a kind of snack, but I wanted to kind of log this. So these are some writing credentials, or these are some things I've worked on. Once in a Lifetime's pretty good script. It's a crazy script about an Uber driver who's trying to help his family out. In the same instance, he plans to hurt this really well-known movie star. The movie star's coming into town for a premiere, and it's kind of a comedy. He doesn't end up doing that. Instead, what ends up happening to him is he ends up getting a ride. I think it's kind of like out of the blue from well, he doesn't get a ride from me. He's actually the driver, but he picks up the lead singer, the Talking Heads, David Byrne. and takes him to the concert. But David Byrne actually gets a hold of him through like a message, like instant message, like Facebook or something like that, and has a conversation with him like out of the blue. It's just something that happens like completely out of the blue. And then he says, look, I'll come pick you up at the airport. I'll take you to, I'll take you to the concert. And he takes him to the concert. But he has this conversation with him backstage before he goes on the concert, which is kind of hinting that David Byrne is kind of like a devil character. The movie star instant happens, and he kind of like gets his friends together and plans this like, he plans to highly disgrace this movie star who he actually went to college with. And his character's name, the movie star's name, is Brett Drooper. I believe, I want to say that the protagonist's name is Ash Cole. I usually go with that name, Ash. And it's kind of a comedy. So that I did write that. It is finished. If you want it, I can send it to you. I can email it to you. But it's a lengthy script. There is a little bit of hint of anti-Semitism in the fact to show it, like Merchant of Venice, not to glorify anti-Semitism. It's not to glorify, but it's to show it, to show that exists. So he does have a moment with his landlord. He goes off on this anti-Semitic rant, and that's in it too. So it's controversial. It's a controversial story, but it's called Once in a Lifetime. I did do segments of it, or I tried to. It's very difficult to take script to screen. But if you're interested, I can send it to you. That's one of them. Another script that I worked on, or I was going to try to work on, was Uber Driver, which was like another version of Taxi Driver. Only it's a guy that's it's a guy that's obsessed with the movie Taxi Driver, but he's also an Uber driver. I had put that one on hold. And then I think I wrote a werewolf movie that was supposed to be a fighting movie. It's supposed to be a fighter movie. And that one was called, it ended up being named now Werevlog, but it was originally called Grace. And that one's about a werewolf, and I wrote that one. Another script that I actually put together, and this is like screenplay stuff, is I did some shorts. I did some short films too. And then now I'm working on a play. I decided to go back to the theater and work on a play. Sometimes you have to do that, just kind of simplify things. But it's not really simplifying it. The theater's not simplifying it, but it does put everything onto one plate. With theater, you've got one stage. You can manipulate the scenery and things like that to a certain degree. But I always write, in the same mind as a theater director. So I think, okay, if I'm going to use a 6-foot tall modem, which is in this new one, or grandfather clock, can I get that on the stage? And the answer is yes. So I think that kind of way a little bit, but I also think about, simplifying dialogue for the sake of the actors. And I think about these kinds of things like a theater director. But I'm actually working on it right now. We're going to get to it later. And I don't want to yap too much. Right now is just called a play. But I had a couple titles because I was watching some Hitchcock stuff that come about. And I like the idea of using the word MacGuffin as maybe like a title. But we'll talk about the title of this play a little bit later. I guess I'm going to try another taco. I really like the idea of Once in a Lifetime. It's just kind of like the guy's got a family, kids, and all this stuff, and he becomes an Uber driver, and he just kind of loses it, He also hides a gun like in a field or something, but you think he's going to kill himself by the end of it. He never does. He just shoots the gun in the air instead because he's kind of mad at God. But it also has a guy named Pastor Rec in it who kind of talks to him. He's kind of almost like a therapist to him and stuff. And he just kind of gets lost in this crazy world of Uber driving, of the Uber world. Pretty good tacos. That sign back there said adopt a street and explore the prairie. Right there are some looking creatures, some kind of creature in statue form. Maybe a lion, maybe a panther. Something that looks similar. There's a duck crossing. That's probably some of the food that the lion or the creature eats. These little affluent roads that are out here in the worlds, the countries, the cities, are very pretty to drive down. They kind of lighten your eyes and make you think of people that have quite a bit of money and use solar power. That's solar power right there. This road right here is called Robin Hood. That's a blinking stoplight. We've got some Chapps Burgers in the back. A place called Chapps. And we're gonna drop it off at your doorstep. With John Milius and Francis Ford Coppola, of course. Guys doing something here. The guy says, always love the smell of napalm in the morning. I always love the smell of Egg McMuffins and coffee in the morning. That smell, that coffee bean smell, with a little bit of ham and cheese, and that weird bread muffin stuff they use, smells like fast food, and maybe some victory. Uber don't surf. We're gonna turn on the music here pretty soon for the delivery. Oh, look at that wave. We always turn the music on and let them know that we're coming. Dun, 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 dun. We arrive with our delivery. There it is. Sharpshire. Right there. Possibly a Uber Eats, maybe. Oh, we're gonna turn on Manchester. That's where Morrissey's from. Ooh, an American flag. Calling card. Someone's got a calling card on the front yard. I killed many for this house. Now we're turning on Egyptian. Spinning around. And drop this fast food off at the door and move on to the next one. Going all different places once we get down this thing right here.
The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
Ooh. Okay, I better be careful on this one. I have no idea. I don't see any addresses or anything. This is where it took me. So I'm going to go down this way and see if I can get an address. I got to cut off here and look at the other app. But it took me back here somewhere. This is not even legit. This is behind the houses. So I have to go all the way back around in the front and see if we can get numbers. Can't get numbers back here. Just throw it over the fence, you know. Let the dogs eat it. Just throw it over the fence and let the dogs eat it. That I'm not going to do. I am going to try to find a number. But it put me way back here in the middle of wherever this is. I have no idea. Ooh, there's a number right there. As a clue. Time to get Columbo. All right. Found them. Isaiah 117, I'll have to read that one. They're a John Milius fan.